I grew up in a small village, in a traditional family. And when I was just 7 years old, I had to wear a scarf. So that didn't come from, from the government. It came from my religious family, under the traditional society. And of course, when, at the age of 7, all the women, when they want to go to school, they have to wear a scarf. This is the law as well. But the thing is, in my private life, it was the same. And I had to, I used to be with my brother, just 2 years older than me, and then we used to, play together and talk together. But he was the one in a small, lovely village, ride a bicycle, so not me. I was not allowed to ride a bicycle. I was not allowed to go and swimming in a nice river. I was not allowed to, take off my scarf and just enjoy the wind through my hair. That's all I wanted in that age. And he was allowed to sing. I was not. So when you grow up in this kind of society, although the hijab is going to be part of you and your identity, but in a free country, every time, every single moment when you enjoy the freedom, there is something inside you. So you can't just leave your people behind and enjoy your freedom. From the beginning, I started to focus just inside Iran, getting women inside Iran involved and directly talking to politicians inside Iran, not getting the Western politicians involved, or I didn't want, to get that huge attention from media abroad. But the subject itself was attractive for media. It helped us a lot to be heard. And when you're heard, then it's going to put more pressure on politicians inside Iran. But what happened right now is just they found a way to ignore us. And we have to get more, more pressure from female politicians around the world. So I'm saying that because I believe that this is the only way that we can get the Iranian government responsible about the issue. Because they never want to respond about us. They never want to even see us that I'm not creating, this website for fun or having, just enjoying ourselves and enjoying the wind. This is an issue which it needs to be on the table of the politicians. And the only way that we can get the Iranian politicians involved about this subject is just these women, the female politicians, when they go inside Iran and they're meeting with our politicians, they have to talk about this. They have to directly put that on the table, which they don't. I mean, so far I haven't seen any of these politicians talking about this issue. All, I see the world is care about just nuclear negotiation. Yes, it is important, but the half population of Iran is women as well. So that's why we're asking the female politician. It has been only like 2 or 3 weeks. We started to ask the female politicians around the world as well to help us to be heard. We didn't even want the Western media to get involved so quick after my aesthetic freedom was born, because we were a bit concerned about the reaction of Iranian, government. They always label us and say that, yeah, they even called me, I'm working for MI6, I'm working for intelligence service. Why? Just because of getting attention by Western media and Western journalists. But we shouldn't care, because if you support women or political prisoners inside Iran or human rights, or you do not support, you're going to be labeled by Iranian government. Sometimes you think, yeah, you have to just, keep the distance because you're not going to be any help for Iranian who are suffering from, human rights abuse inside Iran. But just see how the moderate president and his cabinet use the Western media. So the use of the freedom here in Western media and Western country to talk about, or even the social media like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, they're all filtered in Iran. And you have to, know how to bypass the filters and access the internet, which Iranian young people, they're really good at this. But the thing is, sometimes we say that we have to be careful. Even during the election, the 2009 protests inside Iran, all the Western government, they kept silent because of this concern. They were worried about getting involved. They might say that the protests in Iran or the protesters, the Green Movement or the reformists, they're supported by Western government. So in my opinion, that we shouldn't give much attention on that. We have to support the truth. We have to support those people who do not have any voice inside Iran. We shouldn't be worried about the reaction of the government. And if we're talking about the cultural change or taking the scarf, we're not encouraging the people to take off their scarf and come to the street. We are just giving them platform to speak out, to be themselves. And in my Stealthy Freedom page, you can see a lot of pictures from those people who believe in hijab, wearing a scarf and holding a sign saying that I believe in hijab, but I hate the compulsory hijab. So you're just giving them platform. And I want to criticize the Western journalists that they go inside Iran, but they ignore these stealthy women. Why? Because they need to get permission again from the government. So they just go Iran and cover the news which the Iranian government asked them to cover. Why? Because they don't want to lose the opportunity to travel to Iran again, and they don't want to lose their sources. So that's why all these women are forgotten. When President Rouhani was here, no one asked about these women. You see he gave an interview to Farid Zakaria, to Kristen Amanpour, to a lot of famous journalists. We have been ignored by our government, and we have been ignored by a lot of Western media. And this is the first time after my Stealthy Freedom born that you can see another face of Iranian women through media as well. In my village, I've never seen satellite. But now, when I call to my brothers, and they say that, yeah, there are a lot of people in the village. They saw you on TV. So there is a hope that those people can, when you turn on the TV, you never see those things that you saw, which I called it stealthy. Why I call Stealthy Freedom? Freedom cannot be stealthy. Freedom cannot happen in secret. Freedom is freedom. It doesn't, come with any adjective. But in Iran, you only can, hold the hand in stealth. You can only, traveling somewhere with your boyfriend or with your partner or any, just in secret. So all you see in Park Emelli holding hands or singing or happy, this is all happening in somewhere when you do not see any police around. But now I think through social media, it goes to people's house in some traditional society as well, like small town like Babol, Shiraz. Shiraz, Isfahan is the biggest city, and all you see in my Stealthy Freedom, there are a lot of pictures from these cities as well. But when social media now helped Iranian people to become their own media, I think that in terms of communication, they try to communicate to each other.